right.
Welcome to the Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
Okay, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Eric F. King, and welcome to Motivational Monday with Eric F. King and Friends. I am excited to be here today. I'm sure all of you are too. We are here every single Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. We were here on Christmas Day. We were here on New Year's Day. We're always here on Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'm so excited for two reasons. Number one, I get to hang out with some of the best coaches and speakers in the world. I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about our topic. So I'd like to welcome Leah Garcia, Zan Aneguru, Annie Awesome. Welcome to the show today. We are happy to see you, and welcome to all the people coming in from LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're coming in from. Good to see you. And definitely put a note in the chat so we know you're here, and share some questions, okay? Share some questions. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to be decisive and take action. How to be decisive and take action. Now, let me just start by saying that there's probably nothing more important in business and in life than actually taking action, because a lot of people talk about it. Oh my goodness, everybody talks about what I'm going to do, someday. Someday I'm going to do this, and someday I'm going to do that, and someday I'm going to start this, and someday I'm going to start that, but it never happens, right? So today we're going to talk about taking action. And you have to be obviously in the right mindset to do it. The first thing you always have to do is, I think Leah was doing this earlier, you have to have the right mindset to take action. One of the things that I always talk about is being around the right people, like we are today. We're around the right people that will inspire you to take action. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send it out to our first speaker to kick it off today. Okay, we believe in ladies first, so you know who it is. All right, so our first speaker is she's actually in California. So for those of you that don't know, in California it is 4:04 a.m. and she is here with us this early. How many of you wake up that early? And she didn't wake up. She didn't just wake up. She wakes up way earlier, right? But she does that because she loves to give back. She's very successful in her business. She loves to give back to help people. Okay, she's a financial strategist and specialist. She helps people make money, invest money, just know what to do with their money. Okay? She's also a black belt in karate. And if you know anything about martial arts, you know that it takes a lot of discipline and hard work to be a black belt, right? So we're going to talk, she loves to talk about money. I love to talk about money too, because money brings you happiness. People say, well, Eric, money doesn't bring you happiness. Well, no, they say, they say money doesn't bring you happiness. And I said, well, prosperity brings you a lot more happiness than poverty. Yeah, in my experience. Maybe not in yours, but in my experience. So without further ado, I want to bring up to the stage my good friend, Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Eric, King of Collaboration. My name is Leah Garcia, and it is my crusade, my mission, my vision to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth so that you can build that legacy and create generational and multi-generational wealth. Listen, we've already seen that generational poverty, right? Now you're here to break those chains, to create a new legacy. So I'm going to give you 3 quick tips on how you can be more decisive and take more action. Number 1 is, remember, this is what the rich and wealthy, they have a game plan, they have a focus. Leaders, super achievers, and I'm going to say champions, I'm going to substitute that for champions. Champions make decisions quickly and they change their mind slowly. Average performers, average people, they make decisions slowly and they change their mind all the time. They're chasing every shiny object, right? Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. So when you know your morals, your values, your ethics, that's how you can make quick decisions. When you know what you stand for, you can run it through the filter and you can decide if something is for you, and more importantly, if it's not for you. Take that immediate massive action, because the universe likes speed. How do you create momentum? Momentum is magic, but it starts with you, and it starts with taking that action and becoming more decisive. Because a lot of people will sit there and they'll start procrastinating. They're going to ruminate over all the things that could go wrong. They're going to take themselves through this process and start creating all that tragedy in their mind, and they torture themselves, right? How about if we start focusing on what could go right by taking that action? Remember, done beats perfect. Number 2, get physical, get active. Eric touched on it, and it's true. Martial arts, I love martial arts, but maybe you're not a martial artist. Maybe you just go work out in the gym. Maybe you take a walk. Get active, change your physiology, take action, get physical. Tony Robbins talks about that, getting in a peak state. Because if you think about it, when you're procrastinating, you're feeling fearful, you're feeling doubtful, it changes your physiology. You start to get hunched over. You have shallow breathing. You start to doubt, and you start to allow those feelings come into your body. So get active, take action. Remember, the universe likes speed, and we got to get rid of that murky water in that dam. And number 3 is get resourceful. Think about all the resources that you have. Have you been through this activity before? Have you had success before? Keep a little journal of all the things that went right for you, all the things that you did good. Every day I write down 3 things that went well, 3 things I did good, because you have to what? You have to recognize yourself and reward yourself. And here's the thing. This is why I find a lot of people don't take action and they procrastinate. Listen, this is a real conversation. I didn't get up at 2:30 this morning to give you the rainbows and butterflies, okay? I came here to give you the real talk. The reason why people don't take action is because they don't trust. They don't have confidence. And you know what that is? They don't have the trust and confidence in themselves because they break the promises that they make to themselves. And when you break the promises that you make to yourself, it starts to lower your trust and your confidence in your ability to make those decisions. So when we keep those promises, when we get up at 2:30 a.m., when we show up even regardless of how we feel, that's when we start to build the confidence, and it starts to increase our worth and our identity. And I'll leave you with this. Jamie Villalobos says it this way: an excuse, no matter how valid, is still an excuse, and it weakens your identity. So that's my time, Mr. Eric F. King, and I send it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Great words of wisdom, as always. Thank you so much, Leah. All right, so we're going to keep moving. Welcome to all the people that are here today. Dentist Fortune, welcome. Shadima, welcome. Coral, welcome. Eric, welcome. All right, so if you are on here today, definitely put your, let us know where you're zooming in from. You're not zooming in. you're listening in. Where you zoom, you can tell I do a lot of Zooms, right? Where you're listening in from. Michael, welcome. Yes, we have people from all over the world already. And put your questions in the chat about our topic, how to be decisive and take action. Put your question in the chat and start by just writing question and then put the question, all right? Okay, so let's keep on going. Let me call up our next speaker today, and he hails from England, London, England, far away from Leah, another country, another continent, all right? And he is known as the marketing genius. He literally makes you famous. If you are in a business, you need to market yourself, all right? I don't care how good you are at your product, at your service, how good you are with your product. It doesn't matter if nobody knows about you, all right? It doesn't really matter. So that's why I brought him on today to share with you. I don't know exactly what he's going to share, but I have trust and belief in him that he's going to share some great information with you. He's known to make people famous. He helped me, especially with the LinkedIn audio rooms. So I give the stage to my good friend, Annie Aslam. Annie, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Eric. Leah, thank you so much for sharing genius. I think I'm gonna go to everything you said. I agree with. And I'm probably gonna reinforce the point. Look, I think decision making is one of those things that we have to learn how to make, right? We have to learn how to make decisions and make good decisions. Because all of life is based on making choices, taking responsibility, deciding yes or no, I do or I won't do. But as Leah says, it's not just making decisions that we're talking about today, really. It is what do you really think of yourself? Do you trust yourself? Because to make a decision, you have to have the self-confidence, self-esteem, belief in yourself. And I say to yourself, I can, rather than I can't. When we don't decide, we miss what that really says, what that really means. So to not decide, what it might look like not making a decision, we really are deciding something, right? We are. To say nothing, you're saying something. Take it from me, you are, right? You really are. So the opposite of making a decision is not indecision. Essentially, the opposite of the opposite of making a decision is ambivalence, confusing your soul, pulling your soul in two ways, saying, I believe in different things about the goal I want to achieve. I'm unclear about what I really want. See, when we tell the universe we're unclear about what we want, believe you me, the universe says, I don't know what you want. So I'll give you nothing. I'll give you what you don't want. When I'm making a decision, it's really about being very clear to ourselves and using what we have there and then to make a choice. Right, okay. So why do people not make a choice, Eric? Why do people not decide, I'm not going to decide. I'm not going to make a decide. I'm going to decide today. If I leave it alone, it might go away. It's down to fear. It's down to not being clear who we are, like I said, right? Let's not live a life of fear. If we live a life of fear, we'll get poor results. If we live a life of self-confidence and self-belief, and maybe that belief that we can decide what happens to our lives, we can make magic things happen. If once we make that choice, the world opens up for us. To achieve big things, you must make big decisions. Simple as that. And so maybe the next thing I want to hit on quickly is this issue of this fear about getting it wrong. What does that really mean? See, I love making decisions. I love the yes, no, left, right. I love all of that because I think, as Leah says, once you've done it a few times and you win, which invariably you would do, if you do make decisions, you get more confidence to do more of it. You get to know that I can trust me to do the right thing for me. They say a lot of people fear that's going to go wrong. If it goes wrong, guess what, my friends? Life's all about things going wrong. We have to embrace things going wrong, like the wrong decision, the wrong result that we don't want to happen. When that happens, we haven't failed. We have to learn the lesson, right? We'll learn something. Don't do the same thing next time. Simple as that, right? We truly have to learn to embrace making decisions. Again, as Leah said, the successful people will make decisions fast, right now. They don't say, I'm going to wait till the time is right to get enough money, till the sky goes pink. They don't do any of that. They say, right now, with what I know, with what I know I want, what I know I need, I decide this, and they go with it. Because when we decide, we create the circumstance for our decision to make sense and to happen. We have to realize it's in our gift to make it happen. To not decide just creates confusion. I'll leave you with 4 quick things, my friends. 4 quick bits of advice to make decisions today. The first one is take responsibility. It's on you to get it right. And make the choice. Either way, make a choice, right? Second thing I'll say to you, use the information you have to make a decision. And also use your gut feeling. Because deep down, your body knows, your soul knows what's right for you. And listen to that voice inside you that says, yes, go for it. Not the one that says, oh, do I really want to do this? I'm not sure. Ignore that one, right? Third one I'll say quickly is learn from your results. If it works, do it again. If it works, do the same process again and you get better results next time. If it doesn't work, learn. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn? What can I do different next time? Last I'll say to you, my friends, is develop that self-confidence to keep making decisions. The more you decide, the more results you see, the more you can say yes or no. I'm going to go and I can do this. I can do this. It's in me to do it. I'll leave you with that, Eric. This is such a great topic. I love the topic. I really do.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Great words of wisdom as always. All right. So we're going to keep going. Welcome, Michael. Good to see you. There's so many people. Chidima, welcome. All of you, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see Jane, Neola, welcome. And yeah, definitely put your questions in the chat. Lincoln, Axon, welcome. All right, so I'm going to share a few points. It's funny. Like, it seems like my panel here stole my notes because everything I want to say, they said it. Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, he said that, she said that, he said that. Okay, great. I don't have anything to say. But you know what, though? I decided I'm going to say it anyway because sometimes we need to hear things twice anyway, right? Repetition is important. Repetition is important. So I'm going to share with you a few notes that I wrote down. The first thing I wrote down, and write this in your notes, adversity is normal. Adversity is normal. Whatever you want to do, there will be challenges. It's normal. So I want you to know that before you're going in. Because if you don't, then you'll quit or you'll stop, right? I always tell people, okay, be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best, right? I know Zion would agree with the hope for the best, right? Hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. When you're prepared for the worst, then you don't get flustered or upset if things don't go right. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Years ago, about 5 years ago, I thought about an idea of having a meetup group of entrepreneurs where they'll come together on, actually it wasn't on Zoom at the time, it was in person before COVID, and people will share their information about their business for about 2 minutes. Okay, we'll go around the room and we'll do this, and people will get business and network. And the idea came up. Now, after I thought of that idea, guess what? The negative thoughts started coming in my brain. Well, I've never done that before. Well, where would I find the people? Well, what if I book the room, in the conference room, and I spend money and nobody shows up? It's normal, guys. It's normal. All these things come into my head, but I had to stop it. I had to say, wait a minute. Adversity is normal. Yeah, there'll be issues, but I'm going to do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Write that in your notes. Feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So I went down to Maryland. I looked for a hotel. I said, okay, I want to book this hotel. That says $250. I put on my credit card and we had the room. Okay. And I called everybody I know, all the entrepreneurs I know. I said, this is what I'm doing. All right. Probably like 50 people. And it was like, it started at 7:00 and around 6:50, there was nobody there but me. I'm like, okay, nobody's early. Okay. 6:55, nobody there. Then I get a text from someone, a guy, his name is Eric. He says, I can't make it, but my wife is coming. She's an entrepreneur too. I'm like, great, I got one. I got one is coming, right? And then she came. And then another person came. And then another person came. And I had 8 people. First day, 8 people. I was excited, right? And then, we went around the room. Everybody talked about their businesses. Everybody was excited. And they said, well, Eric, how often do you do these? I said, well, this is my first time, but if you guys will come back, I'll do it again next week. They're like, yeah, we'll be back. So I got the room for the next week. Guess what happened the next week? 6:50, nobody there. 6:55, nobody there. 7 o'clock, nobody there. 7:30, nobody there. Nobody showed up for the second one. I paid $250 for that room. But I knew that adversity is normal. I knew adversity is normal. This is supposed to happen. Adversity is normal, right? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it again. So the lady at the counter said, well, Eric, if you want to hold off a few weeks, before you do the next one and gather some people, that's okay. You don't have to do it next week. I said, no. Go ahead and put it on my credit card. Why did I do that? Take this down, write this down also. The longer you take to fulfill your goal or your dream, the more discouraged you'll become. Okay. And you'll start to talk yourself out of it. So I didn't want to give myself enough time to talk myself out of it. So I did it again. And then we had 15 people. Then we had 22 people. Now, this meeting that I started in a little room in Rockville, Maryland, is now online. We do it 3 times a week, Mondays at 12 Eastern. We're going to do it in a few hours. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have almost 4,000 people in the group now. What if I didn't start? What if I quit? A lot of the people that I'm helping now around the world came from here. Some of you know Amberly. She speaks on our event. She came from there, right? So here's so what I want to tell you folks, adversity is normal. Feel the fear and do it anyway, okay? And just realize that you're going to have issues. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. I haven't done any marketing for that event for 4 years. New people show up there'll be new people on today. There'll be new people on Thursday. There'll be new people. They just come from all over the place. People telling people, right? But at first, there was a lot of adversity. It was hard to start, right? All right, so that's what I wanted to share. That's what I wanted to share for my part. And let's go to my good friend in Nigeria. So now we're going all the way to Nigeria to my good friend Zion. Now, Zion is known all over the world as Mr. Positive Energy. So if you want some positivity in your life, you want to listen to him, you want to follow him, okay? Now, if you enjoy being a negative person, then don't listen to him. Then just put everything off. You can drop off. If you want to be a negative person, right? And that's okay. But if you want positivity in your life, in your business, then listen for the next few minutes, because the ladies say he has a sexy voice. So if anything, listen for that. All right, Zion, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. And to my amazing speakers who have spoken before me, Leah, Mr. Annie, thank you so much. It's always a privilege to listen to you, because I come here not just to speak, but to learn as well. And to the amazing people joining us from all over the world, I want to say a very big thank you for joining us, because you make today's event possible. It's a very interesting topic today, and I think it's something that we all need to learn and we all need to pay attention to. For me, to be honest with you, when it comes to being decisive and taking actions, if there's one thing I've learned, it's not about speed, it's about progress. I will say that again. Being decisive and taking action, it's not all about speed, but about making progress. Now, I will give you an analogy. Imagine you're writing an exam, and the exam is for 1 hour. For some persons, they will submit they're going to submit their answer sheet sometimes in 10 minutes, in 30 minutes, in 1 hour. But when the result comes out, nobody asks about who finished first. It's about who passed the exam. So you must understand that in being decisive and taking action, it's not about speed, it's about progress. How are you progressing with what you are doing is what is key. It's not about being fast. So I wanted to establish that fact first before I proceed and share with us some few points that I have been able to use in being decisive and taking action. The first is prepare yourself. You must prepare. When taking a decision, do not be in a haste. Do not be in a hurry to make a decision. You must prepare, especially when you're working with a team. Don't come to a team meeting where decisions are being made and you don't have a good knowledge about what you're talking about. Or you are not vast in what you're going to be talking about. So you must prepare yourself, make research, seek perspective, talk to people before you make decision. So in taking decision, do not be in haste. Take out your time, make research, ask questions, seek for feedbacks. And I tell you, if you can do this, it will help you prepare yourself to be decisive and take the right action. The next point is learn from your mistakes. I know they've shared this before, but I had to, add my voice to that, because one thing I've learned is your mistakes is not a failure. They are actually a learning ground for success. They are actually a learning ground for progress. In the place of making mistakes, practice makes mastery. And I tell you, in the journey of decision making and taking action, it's not a destination. It's actually a journey. There is no such thing like, oh, I'm a perfect decision maker. Because every day I'm making decision is an opportunity to learn, is an opportunity to become better. So one thing that you must do in being decisive and taking action is learn from your mistake. Learn from them. You might not get it right now, like Mr. Ennis said before. Learn from it, improve on it, and use it as a catalyst to be better in making decisions next time. And my last point is this: be positive in making decisions. Be positive. You have to be open to so much possibilities. Do not even worry about the consequences. If you believe it, I tell you, go for it. And the one thing when it comes to decision making and in being positive, you must believe in the decision you are making. Once you have taken it, believe it. And one powerful thing about believe it, when you are believing, believe with your full heart. You have to believe for possibilities, because you can never achieve above your level of belief. I will say that again. You can never achieve above your level of belief. If your level of belief is 10%, you can only achieve 10%. If your level of belief is 50%, you can only achieve 50%. So I always encourage people, believe in your dreams or in your decision like no man's business. Believe in it 100% if you want to achieve 100%. And that's why being positive in making decisions is key, because I always tell, when I'm working on projects, I always tell my people, like, this project was great. They'll be like, why are you using was? We have not even started. I was like, yes, you don't have to start. I know it was great. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was a success. We all celebrated together. Now, that's my mindset. I don't have to wait to kickstart. I don't have to wait to be there. It all starts from the mind. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you can think it, it simply means you have the ability, you have what it takes to get to that point. So that's my few points today. And I encourage you to keep embracing positivity, because in positivity, there is endless possibilities for you. So thank you so much for listening. I yield the mic to Mr. Eric.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. You always bring the positivity and the energy to this group. We appreciate it. All right, so I want to welcome. Oh, there are a lot of people, so many different channels and platforms. So I can't even get them straight. Celeste, welcome. Jane, welcome. Gregory, welcome. Priscilla, welcome. Michael B, welcome. Clever, welcome. Caroline, welcome. Let's see. Ifani, welcome. Man, welcome. Wow, so many people from all over the world. Welcome, everybody. All right, so we are going to get to the questions. Make sure you put your questions in the chat. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. All right. So let's see. The first question comes from Coral from across the pond. By the way, I met Coral in my meetup group. If I didn't start the meetup group, if I quit 5 years ago, I wouldn't know this wonderful lady named Coral, who, by the way, did a training at my live event in Washington, D.C. last month, right? So she saw me online in Britain and we ended up meeting in DC, and she was able to bless the people with her incredible presentation, right? She's a life coach, a Christian life coach. You see what happens when you don't let fear stop you? You open up opportunities for other people and yourself. All right. So Coral says, how do you handle the fear of making the wrong decision? That's a great question. The fear of making the wrong decision. Who would like to tackle that first? Okay, let's go with Leah and then Annie. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, that's such a great question. And I think about it this way. Release the pressure. If we put so much pressure on that one decision that it's a do or die situation, like if that isn't done, quote unquote, correctly, if you make a wrong decision, that's it. You've ruined your entire life. And that's just not true. So release the pressure and allow yourself to make those mistakes. Listen, if we had the fear of walking as a child, we never would be walking, right? We'd still be crawling around somewhere, rolling around all over the place. So it's through those mistakes where we learn. We don't learn when things go right. We don't sharpen our sword when everything's perfect. We sharpen our sword and when things go wrong. And that's really when we can refine ourselves and then build up for that next thing. And when you look back, they say your mess will become your message. Some of my greatest times, some of my greatest memories are when things went wrong, right? When things kind of were mucked up and you're just there like, wow. Remember when we didn't have money and we had to go have pizza on the bottom of the carpet and, there was no furniture. Like those are the best memories. And that's when you would learn the most. So if you change your thinking, right, you flip the script, you could do a cartwheel. That's what Miss Noni Pepperoni said. So that's what I'll send it back to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I learned so much from you, Leah. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay, Annie, real quick, go ahead.
I think that it's true. The thought of making the wrong decision is an illusion. It's never one shot, and that's it. The world forgets how many times we get things wrong, or we make mistakes. As Zion said, people only remember the results that you achieve. In every sport. I mean, if I use Michael Jordan for example, in basketball. We know how many NBA championships he won for his teams. How many shots did they miss? A lot more than they ever won. I'm saying, decide, go for it, have the confidence, and you win more than you lose. I promise you. If you don't win, you learn. Like as Leah said, that's the truth. See, we're all saying the same thing because it's the truth, right? It's one truth, and you have to take it from us. Trust yourself, my friend. Decide and then go for it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Zion, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. First thing, thanks so much for Leah and Mr. N for what they've said already. One thing I've come to know from my personal experience is fear is just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. So I think the issue here is not about the wrong decision, it's the fear. So address the fear and let the wrong decision be. So addressing the issue of fear starts from the mindset, starts from your mind. You must believe. That's why I spoke about belief earlier. Believing helps you to eliminate the fear that comes in your way in achieving your goal. So whatever you want to achieve, believe that you can do it. Forget about the end results. What will happen after? Just believe and take a leap of faith, and you see that you can achieve it. So that's my share. Thank you so much. I yield the mic.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a great question. And I think the key is you have to be willing to make mistakes anyway. Like make more mistakes, but make it faster to get to the other side, right? Just, if you're afraid to make mistakes, you will never start. You'll have that fear of starting, right? I read a lot of biographies, right? I've read over 250 biographies of successful people. And guess one thing I learned is that, most of them had no idea of what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. They just had a plan. They just said, I'm going to do it. And it worked out. It worked out, right? When all is said and done, at the end of the lives of a lot of people, they never say, oh, I wish I never started that business. I wish I never did this. I wish I never did it. You know what they say? I wish I did. I wish I tried it out. What would have happened if I would have done that? Right? Right? So you don't want to live in regret. Right? So be ready to make mistakes. And you'll be amazed that when you make mistakes, you're actually moving forward anyway. And if that road doesn't go to the right place, then take another road, right? But just keep moving. We call it failing forward. If you don't do anything, you're not moving forward. If you're indecisive, you don't make a decision, you're not moving forward. You're just stuck. You're just stuck. And then someone says something like, people don't know the mistakes you made, right? So I was just looking at this, and I'm not even trying to sell this. This is an example. When I wrote this book, I wanted to come out with it. I forgot, maybe January or something. And I had all kinds of issues. I didn't finish writing the last chapter. Then I had an issue loading it up to Amazon. Then I had I just had all kinds of it. Then the guy that was supposed to do the cover, he was late, right? So I had to push it to another month, I think March. Then I had to push it again to June. And then I released it. But then it became a bestseller anyway. Nobody knew of all the issues I had. Nobody knew. Nobody knows that I had all these issues. All they know is this is a great book. It's on Amazon, right? By the way, it is a great book. Pick it up. Oh, but but that's not even the point, right? Right. But my point is, nobody knows the issues I had. Nobody knew that I wanted to release in January. Then I moved to March. Nobody knows all of that. All they can say is, if you Google Eric F. King, I think it's the first thing that comes up, my book, my best-selling book, the first thing that comes up. Nobody knows of all the issues. And Amazon sends me a check every month for this book for people buying it all over the world. And I made all kinds of mistakes when I was doing it, right? Just do it. I hope that gives you a good example. All right, Carl, thank you so much. All right, let's keep moving. Let's see somebody else asking a question. And let's see, I think I saw somebody asking a question here. Where is it? Give me a second. I thought I saw another question. If anybody sees it, let me know. I thought I saw a question, but if not, we'll go to Carl's second question. Okay. All right, so let's go to Carl's question, and I'll look for that other one because I know there was another one. Okay, Carl. Carl has a question. What advice would you give to someone who struggles with procrastination when it comes to taking action? Another great question. Procrastination kills, folks. Oh my goodness. Remember at the beginning, I said I intentionally booked the room for the next Thursday because I knew if I procrastinated, I would talk myself out of it. Leah, go ahead.
Yeah. And that's, you know what? It done beats perfect, because done beats perfect. Here's the thing. It's that procrastination is a thief of joy, right? And people who procrastinate, really what they're doing is they don't have belief in themselves, right? They just don't have the belief in themselves. What do you really want? When you know what you really want, you're going to take that action, even when it doesn't feel right, even when you aren't sure. If you're willing to muck it up and make that mess, that's where champions are made, right? It's through that mess. So somebody who struggles with that procrastination, you have to really go back to, what do you really want? If you're a little unclear, it's a little foggy, you can't write it down, you can't say it easily, succinctly in a 2 or 3 sentences, like they call it an elevator pitch. It's really, when you aren't really crystal clear, then you're going to find everything is going to get in the way. That little pebble is becoming a mountain, and you're going to have an excuse to procrastinate. So that's what I've learned on my journey. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you so much. Very wise, very wise. Let's go with Zion and then Annie. Go ahead, Zion.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. One thing I've learned in dealing with procrastination, especially taking action, that has really helped me. It's having a mentor or an accountability partner. It's very key and it's very, very important, because procrastination can be very tricky. That moment you are lying to yourself, but having somebody that can tell you the truth and say it to your face, so that you can take correction, it's key. So if you don't have someone like that, I think you should get someone like that. And secondly is journaling. Write down the things you want to do. Write down. It helps you to structure yourself and be intentional about what you want to do. Because one thing that makes most people procrastinate is because there is no intentionality in what you want to do. So writing down what you want to do, journaling down brings you to a place of intentionality, and then have an accountability partner that can always hold you accountable for your actions. So that's my share on that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Great advice. Annie, go ahead.
Great advice. I think being very, it helps be very clear what you really want to do. Right? What's your goal and why is it important to you? And I guess once we set the goal and the level of priority, then we realize to do nothing, to procrastinate, means nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Absolutely.
If nothing happens, we can't get to our goal. We have to get obsessed by what we really want, whatever that is. That's the only way you achieve success. The good or the bad. I'm saying if you want something, be obsessed about it. Love the idea, love the results, love the feeling of achieving it, and then take the steps towards it. Again, nothing is ever achieved in one step. Nothing is achieved overnight. Nothing. Everything is, it's a series of steps. Take the first step.
Absolutely.
The second one, the third one will come later on, right? And get nearer.
Awesome.
That's my advice.
That's great advice. That is great advice. It reminds me of when I started this podcast right here that we're on right here. I was taking a walk with my 15-year-old son. He was 15 at the time last year. We're taking a walk, and he and I talked to him about my idea of having a podcast in the mornings, right? And and I said, well, I like to get his intake. He said, "Oh, that'd be a great idea." He'd be like, so he said, "So how would it work?" I said, "Well, I don't even know exactly how it works because I've never done one, but I know I just have people on, some experts that will talk about a topic and will just bless people." He said, "Okay." We were walking on a Friday. So the next week, he's on YouTube, right? So he sees the YouTube feed of a call I did. And I said a podcast. So he said, "Dad, did you start already?" Because I saw like some people on a podcast I said, "Yeah." He said, "Just like that, like 3 days later?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Wow." I said, "When did you expect me to start?" He said, "Well, I don't know. I just didn't know you would start in 3 days." I said, "Well, when you decide to do something, why would you procrastinate? Just start." He said, "Well, okay." So he learned a lesson. So the day we spoke on Friday, that night, I messaged some people. I asked them if they're willing to get on my call at 7 a.m. Some people said no. One person said yes. I said, "Let's do it." And at that time, it was just one person, right? And then I had somebody else later. Leo was one of the first people to be on my podcast when I was doing about one person each. Leo was one of the first people to be on my podcast, right? So, and then I just started. Had missed it. We weren't on this platform. We started on another platform. That didn't work out. So nobody knows. Nobody knows that it didn't work out. Nobody knows that it didn't work out. We had one call. Coral was the only one on the call. The only one in the world. Coral was the only one called from across the pond. And guess what? We did the meeting for Coral. We did the podcast for Coral, right? Now we have people from all over the world, right? So I hope that answers your question. Just start. Just start. It's hard. It's scary. We know all of that, but just take action. All right. So, all right. And no other comments, right? Okay, good. All right. So let me, I think I found the question. I found the person. Jane, I found it. So I'm trying to make a decision about a master's in Canada. Are you laughing at me? Okay, I thought she's laughing.
No. I tell you why I'm laughing, Eric.
What?
I've been replying to Jane, for about another 4th line of conversation so far.
Okay.
So
Okay, good. Well, Jane, you're on spotlight here, so we're gonna help you out. I'm trying to make a decision about a master's in Canada, but I'm unsure about what major to choose. I can help you there. But is there anybody that wants to speak first? Okay, let me help you. First of all, I can talk to you from experience, all right? Because obviously, I have degrees. I have too many, too many degrees. And my son just started college, and I gave him the same advice. He just started college. Here's the deal: look at the end goal, right? Your end goal. So what would you like to accomplish, right? 5 years from now, like when you graduate, what area do you want to go into, right? So you like, let's say you say, well, I want to go into marketing, right? Right? Then study marketing, right? Don't do something just because people say it's the best thing to do. Don't do something just because people say you'll make a lot of money. Because if you don't enjoy it, you won't make a lot of money. And if you don't help people, you won't make a lot of money, right? So do what you know that you'll be happy every day you walk into class. I'm excited to learn this. I was a business major because I love business, right? I'm doing business now. I'm writing business books. Everything I do is business. So I did what makes me happy. So I loved college, right? So do what makes you happy. And here's another thing. If you choose a major and you don't like it, you can change. You can change. So don't put any pressure on yourself. You can change. Back when I was in school, it wasn't easy to change. I don't know if anybody here can relate. Back when I was in school, it wasn't easy to change. Like you stuck. But now you can change your major. You can drop a class. They make it so easy now. Trust me. So what you do is just choose a major. Now, if your decision is whether to get the master's or not, because sometimes people are like, should I just work or should I go for more education? Then you have to sit down and think, is it worth it to go back to school? Is it worth it to go back to school? Because you're going to pay, obviously, you're going to spend money. Or do I just want to go out in the workforce or make money? That's a decision you have to make, right? That's a decision you have to make. So, but whatever it is, realize that you're moving forward. Just make a decision and move forward. All right. All right. Any other comments about that from our panel? No. Okay. Good. All right. So now our panel, we're about 12 minutes away. So when you make when you share for the next question, please let everybody know how they can reach you. Okay. I want everybody to know that I just let's see. I'll put it in the chat. I just wrote a new ebook. Okay. I wrote this ebook that can help all of you. And I put it in the chat here. You can pick it up absolutely free. Okay. It's studiospeaking.com/ebook. And the ebook is about what I'm doing right now to help speakers and coaches, right? Talks about the benefits the benefits of speaking and how it can change your career, right? Some of you say, well, I'm shy, Eric, you don't understand. I understand, but I understand that you can overcome your shyness too, because I used to be shy, right? So I'm not the guy that's going to say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to just co-sign with your weaknesses. I'm going to create some strengths for you. I'm not going to co-sign with your weakness. Okay. So anyway, grab that book. It's going to bless you. Studiospeaking.com/ebook. All right. So let's go to the next question here. Thanks for bringing in those questions. I appreciate that. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I need to hide this. Okay. There we go. Okay. Give me a second. Let's see. Who else? I think somebody else asked a question. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was a question by Amaka.
Amaka, okay. Okay, there we go. Thank you. All right. Amaka says, when do you decide it's best to stop a plan/goal and pursue another one? Great question. Great question. Anybody want to handle that first? Okay, Eddie, go ahead.
A great question. It sounds like impossible, but it's not impossible. Of course, it is possible, right? We have to make choices. I think when something begins to feel like it's not the right thing to do, I will look at it again and question why I'm doing it. Now, the extension of that is if you have something that feels more right for you, something that gets to where you want to get to. That's Leslie just put in the comments, something that's going to help you and help people that you want to help. Then change. You know, and it's going by your gut feeling. Your feeling is that's normally, you know, you can't go wrong with that. Well, you can't do something that you don't want to do. That's kind of that's what the mistake, right? You know, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You got something better, then it's definitely time to change.
Yes,
That's what
absolutely.
I'd say.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? And by the way, how can they reach you? Because we're about to close.
Sorry. So like LinkedIn is my home. So find me on LinkedIn. I'll share
Okay.
my profile link in the comments.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Who else put up their hand? Leah? Leah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's so on point, Annie. It's like, why did you start in the first place? Maybe you don't have to change the goal. Maybe you have to change the strategy. Maybe you need a mentor. Maybe you need somebody who's going to really show you the path. They say if you want to know the path ahead, ask somebody who's coming back. So find somebody who is where you want to be, and then study them. Get their biography, like Eric said. Really, if they're on social media, follow them. Really watch the comments, right? So really decide if that was really what you wanted, then maybe it's just being a scientist and finding another way to achieve what it is that you really want. And the best way to reach me is on LinkedIn. That's my best platform. I'm all over social media, but LinkedIn is definitely my best social media. So back to you, Eric.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Zion, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Leah and Mr. Eni. And thank you, Amaka, for that wonderful question. You know, when you are doing certain things, looking from the outside, it can look so attractive. It can look like it's something that aligns with you. But by the time you fully get in, you find out that, wow, this is not what I asked for. This is not what I bargained for. So you must ask yourself why. If what you are doing correspond with your why, if it go in alignment with your why, and if it does not, I think you can make a change. Like Leah said earlier, get a mentor, get an accountability partner, make researches and get to know more about the field. You might not necessarily have to change. Maybe you have to change your strategy or your approach on the way you are doing things. And I think with these few points I'll be giving you from each of the speakers, you can be able to decide whether you're stopping or not. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always active there. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. So thank you so much. I yield the mic over to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Great question, Amaka. Great question. So I have a two-part answer for you. Number one, if you have a goal, let's say you started a business or you started something and people aren't buying into it as much as you think, don't quit for that reason. That's not a good reason to quit, because almost everything I've done in my life, people didn't people didn't buy into it right away. People like that's just how the world works, right? Most people, they're skeptical. So the first thing you say, oh, I have this great idea. I don't know if it's gonna work, right? People are skeptical, right? Right. So don't quit because of that, because then the guy that started it, Steve Jobs, he oh, by the way, those are my three beautiful sons. Look at that. I just noticed it's on there. Anyway, um, um, yeah. So when he started, it didn't work out. Most people didn't want the phone and the camera and the iPod all together. They fired him from the company. That's how bad it was. But then later, it worked out. They brought him back. Now we're on iPhone 15, the most profitable company in the world, right? That's why I read biographies, because it tells you that people have messed up in the past, right? So okay, so don't quit for that reason. But can you change your goal and pursue another plan? Absolutely, right? There's a company that contacted me a few months ago. They wanted to turn my videos into different languages, Spanish and German and all this stuff. And they showed me how to do it. It was exciting. They said, "Well, we're gonna take it to this country and take it to this country, right? Right?" And it was great. But it was around the time I started my studio rooms. So I said, "Okay, well, that's all great, but I want to focus on this right now." So I told them that I changed my mind. I'm not doing that. Like, but Eric, and we didn't sign a contract, or anything, but I thought you were excited about it. I was, but I have the right to change my mind. I'm not doing that. Right? This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to help people. So you can change your mind. You can pursue other things, right? It's a free world, right? So if I went along that path, yeah, I may help people over there, but I won't be able to do what I'm doing now. And what I'm doing now is really fulfilling, right? So you can, it's there's I can't say there's a best way. Sometimes it's your gut feeling, right? But just don't be afraid to change your mind if you have to. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So the way to reach me, folks, is mainly on LinkedIn, Eric F. King. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm on all of them. And I provide videos every day to help you build your business. Okay. Every single day to help you build it, absolutely free. So connect with me somewhere. Connect with me somewhere. Most of them have to do with sales and marketing because that's my forte, right? Especially sales. So connect with me, right? And that's and then if you want to speak on my stage, just go to studiospeaking.com, click on it, and then see what the criteria to see if you qualify, right? And then go from there. And it's not free, so I just want you to know. So if you think it's free, don't click on it. It's not free. It's not free to click to speak in my studio. But yeah, you can check it out. All right. So let's see. Who else? Oh, Leslie, welcome. Leslie Flowers, welcome. Wow, we have so many people here. Aaron, welcome. Jane, welcome. All right, so we're gonna close it out now because we just don't have much time. So Zan, did you say how we can reach you? I don't remember. Did you tell everybody how they can reach you? He just you did? Okay, you did. Okay, good. All right, so
Yes, I did.
okay, good. So we have 3 minutes. I like to end on time because I know people have to go to work, people have to go to school, people have to take their kids to school. Leah has to rest. She woke up at 2:30. so many reasons. But I just want to see if there's anybody else here that I didn't mention because I really like to acknowledge people for showing up as much as I can. Okay, let's see who else. Oh, Dr. Marcia is here. Welcome, Dr. Marcia. Good to see you. Thank you for that. Jeanette, welcome. Appreciate that. Charito, welcome. Mohammed, good to see you. Wow, there's a lot of people. Marie, welcome. Or is it Mary? Elliot, welcome. Wow. Carolyn, welcome. Cleaver, welcome. So thank you everybody for being here. We have people from all over the country and the world. So what I would recommend is share this with other people. Okay, we do this for free for you. So the least you can do is pay it forward, right? So take this video and share it on your pages, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. Share this. Let more people hear this. So every morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are, it fires you up. It fires you up. Some people think Monday is a bad day because they start work. Like, I can't stand Mondays because I have to go back to work. Make Monday the best day of your week. Monday should be exciting. It's the first day, right? It's the first day. Get excited. Get excited about something, right? Live for something. Get something. Make sure something wakes you up in the morning and makes you happy. If you hate your job, find another one. If you hate your business, find another one. Stop complaining about what you can't. If you can't change it, don't worry about it. But if you can change it, change it. All right. So that's my tip for you folks. So we appreciate all of you. We will see you here same time next week. We appreciate everybody. And as always, it has been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.